Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I changed my mind. I got all that stuff off her inbox. Everything that I left there for my friend Kay, I got it out of there. I don't know, just changed my mind. Sometimes you just change your mind. That's what that was. Just get to a point where it's like, nah, no. I really love myself, you know what I'm saying? I've gotten to a point in my life where I really love who I am, and when a person shows you that they have a certain level of disrespect for you, that's already right there enough. You know what I mean? It really is. You got to start breaking off those spaces where they have a chance to disrespect you again, or have a chance to show you whatever it is that you don't like. It gets to a point where you just have to cut that bridge off. And if they intend to be in your life, then they got to show you that they're serious about respecting you. Otherwise, you're just asking for them to continue the behavior that you don't appreciate. And that's kind of what this is for me. It's like, it's not even about forgiveness. We've already talked about that in the last video. Forgiveness is there. But I can't condone what I don't appreciate for it to continue, and that's been the problem in that situation. I've been allowing things that hurt me. I gotta stop. At some point in time, you just gotta realize God don't want you to be in no situation where you have to explain to somebody how not to disrespect you if they known you for as long as this person known you. I think that's what just came to me as I was sitting here. I came all the way down Wilshire. I got off in like Wilshire, Vermont, and just walked for a couple blocks. And I was just thinking, like, I've prayed every prayer I can in that situation. I've extended myself in a lot of different ways. This person knows me about as well as anybody does today. I don't have to explain. Half of the stuff that I had edited initially from what it is I posted, stuff she already knew, and the other half of that stuff is stuff I had already shown. And it's like, here I am walking down the street feeling sad again about this person. Why am I going to give them another opportunity to do that again when I know they don't have those problems in regards to me? I do everything I can to jump through the hoops to make sure that issue don't happen, to make sure that they straight, and they give me whatever they give me, for which I'm appreciative of. But a lot of times I feel like the bare minimum in regards to what it is I would appreciate from them. It just gets to a point where it's like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not gonna let that person have that upper hand on me when it's me that it seems to be the only one that really gives a shit about it. Excuse my language, but she's good either way. That's what it seemed like to me. It's like you could either be there or not. And for me, it's like, okay, or not. That's how you got to treat people that you feel don't appreciate you. You got to take you out of the equation. And you can't fight yourself about them or give them ropes from which to cross over to get to you if all they're going to do when they get there is stuff that you don't like or appreciate, or all they're going to do when they get there is give you half of what it is that you ultimately would receive from them in kind. No, you don't get that bridge no more. Time and time again, I find myself walking down the street or sitting up sad or talking to y'all about how this person ain't did this or that person wasn't there for me. That person may have shown up for a bit but then didn't, or I did maybe the slightest thing and now they cutting me off. It's like, that's an upper hand energy that I don't owe them no more. I don't owe that person that. And with all it is that I've been trying to do on my channel, she's yet another reason I feel I'm distracted from what it is that our purpose is on this channel. And I look at myself in the mirror, I like who I am. I look at what I just been through, I apply my faith. If that person wants to be in my life and the person I'm becoming, then she'll be present. And if they don't want to be, then the best thing I can do is start healing with the process of them not being in my life permanently. So I ain't got to keep on going through the process of being let down while they're any damn way. So it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like everything I'm going through in my head in regards to that person, they are not going through. At some point in time, you got to remove yourself so you can stop going through stuff that they don't have a problem with in regards to you. So that's what I'm doing in regards to Kay. I erased all of that because she ain't going to necessarily respect it in the way that I want her to respect it, because that part is already proven. As I tell you guys in regards to different things, what's already proven don't have to be proven no more. It's proven now. You got it. It's fact. And that's kind of where I'm at. That person know where to find me. You know what I'm saying? But for the time being, it seems like she has other things that she can be doing that supplement who I am until it's time to come back around. When do I start realizing that part? She got other friends she can hang out with. She got, you know what I mean? It's like okay, well, where do I come to play? I saw something a lady by the name of Christina Mackey put up on the internet a few weeks ago. I wish she would have kept it there because it was really relevant to what the perspective feels like on my end. It's like, or her end, it seems like to me, brother. It's like she come around, essentially Christina Mackey was saying, that girl I don't really like you. She was speaking from her perspective to a guy that she don't like. She may hit you up when it's convenient because she just wants to talk or may know that you're available, but otherwise she ain't really that into you, because if she were, she would try. She was like, at some point that guy needs to understand that and take back his energy or stop trying to bark up that tree, because she gonna give you just as much as she wants you to have. After that, she cool. And it's like, at some point in time, I gotta realize that is exactly what this is. Now, she may say other things to keep me at that distance, but eventually you gotta understand that actions speak louder. And a lot of times she sends me uplifting things, hit me up for a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two. She may keep me up every morning. After that, she out. She's able to turn that on and off. I'm not able to. So because I'm not able to, I'm at a disadvantage in the situation, and she takes advantage of my disadvantage by giving and taking what shit otherwise she wants me to have versus not. Now, when I'm hurting, is she extending anything more? When I'm saying, yo, can you be a little more consistent, is she giving any more? But it's like, okay, so she don't mind I'm hurting, but she ain't gonna extend herself in any way to make sure that she give a little more so that I'm not. Or she ain't gonna hurt on my behalf, or that she's not capable of hurting on my behalf in that way anyway. So it's like when she starts feeling a certain way, she walk away and comes back when she's rejuvenated herself. Where do you go? Why don't I have that in my own world? And at some point in time, I gotta say, well, that's because I'm not doing what she's doing. Whatever it is she's doing, I need to be doing myself. Get busy, do something else, find somebody else to talk to, find somebody else to weigh that energy against. Then you can be in the position that she's in. Otherwise, you're not putting her through that, so she don't know how I feel, she don't respect it. I don't want to put her through nothing. I just want my own perspective to be back to what it should be. I'm alone. So why am I acting like I'm with somebody else? Because that person's not really giving me all that she wants me to have. So it gets to a point where it's like, all right, man, I get it. I'm a convenience to this person. When she feels like she wants my energy, for which is good energy, she'll have it. Otherwise, she goes where she's going for whatever else she needs. I don't want to be that convenience for you no more. I don't want to just, and then you know what to say to keep me there. But then you don't respect me enough to back that up by making sure that you're consistent enough so that I'm not seeing certain things that otherwise there. It's like you'll say this and then you'll post that and I'll see that, and you know I see that, but you respect me so little that you will allow me to see that anyway. But I'm here, I'm jumping through hoops trying to make sure I don't say certain things so that I don't trigger you for your problems. You give a shit about mine in regards to you. Nah, I gotta take that back. That's not meant for me. And as I was saying to you guys in the last video, the person that she thinks I am, who's cool with those things, is not who I actually been. I've just been trying to mold myself so that I can be her friend. Because I care that much. But I can't sustain that. That's not who I am. I care about certain things more so than I said I did. I'm a bit more selfish in regards to how I feel about how people treat me than I say I did. I don't like certain things, you know what I mean? Then I let those things happen so that I could be in her life, and it's like, for what? You're not getting anything positive from it, other than the bare minimum of what it is you always get, which is not enough. If it were, you wouldn't feel like you weren't getting enough. And so it's like, whoa. I meditate on that. I'm like, and I'm getting bad vibes in certain situations? Nah. If that person's the friend that I want that person to be, then they'll extend themselves in the same way I'm extending to them, and then it'll feel like a balance. Just like we said in regards to that conversation about first fruits. If everybody's giving their first fruits, then there's a balance amongst everybody and we all get what we need. But there's no balance there, because that person's taking what they need from me, probably taking what they need from somebody else, probably taking something else from somebody else, and supplementing what all that they need, while I'm sitting here looking for everything from them. Because I'm not wired to do that to anybody. So it's like, oh no, that's not my friend, man. That's not my friend. Because if that person were my friend, they would sacrifice some of those things to ensure that I have what I need, just like I'm sacrificing these things to ensure they have what they need. That person's their own friend. And by way of what it is that they love themselves in regards to, they're going to take from me what it is that they need from me, so that they can please themselves in their love for self with what it is I bring to the table. They're not actually looking to give me anything more than what it takes to keep me at that table. Nah, that don't work. I'm a bit too selfish, and I'm getting a bit too strong in my faith to allow a person to lie about how much they care about me and then proceed to show me they don't respect that I see that they don't. That's what that has become. And it's unfortunate, because a lot of what I've been thinking about and doing is about them. I really care about this girl, but who is she in comparison to what it is I thought she was? And the closer I get to God, the more I realize I gotta jump through hoops just to stay in this person's life. The moment I do anything that goes outside of what it is I like, or what it is she like, I get left alone for periods of the time that feel terrible to me. It's like at some point in time, you gotta realize that that's not how that's supposed to go. They're keeping you at a distance so that you don't get no closer. And as they keep you at that distance, you want to get closer, but they could care less, because this is the distance they like, and they're about them. That's her right now. That's how that goes. And in the spirit of what it is I'm doing, which is trying to speak up on things that are important to me on my channel or whatever, share it with her rather. You know, it became a situation where this tumbled forward to her not wanting to converse. And she can use the excuse of, well, I've gone through something traumatic. But it's like, you was doing that before that happened. You was doing this before that happened. And I can't confuse that with the two. It's like, oh, well, you know, I'm dealing with my pain. You know, you must have been dealing with some other pains too, because this is what I was going through before that trauma took place. Keeping me at a certain distance while she play around and do whatever else she's doing, in whatever way she does it. Throwing it in my face to a degree, because she know I'm looking at it. It's like, look, fam, I don't like being played with. I don't like being kept at a distance, because I like consistency. I'm a consistent person. And if she's not happy with consistency because she needs to do other things and jump around and all that stuff, I'm in a different world. I'm a different guy. That's not where I'm going. It may have been what I was willing to do when I wasn't in the space that I'm in, but now that I'm in this space, that don't feel like grace to me. That don't feel like love to me. You got to start bending a little bit, or otherwise you're just proving you don't give a shit. So I'm starting to understand it. It's like, took me some walking down the street feeling bad, looking at my phone, realizing she hadn't checked it yet. It's just been sitting there all day. She usually check that app in the morning. Whatever the hell she's doing, she ain't thinking about me. So let me grab back my thoughts that only pertain to me and keep them to myself, because communication is not as important to this individual. Only that she communicate when she's ready to get whatever it is I give to her, for which I have to take back. Because at this point, it's too expensive to keep on giving her that. See how that works? I definitely am seeing how that works. So at some point in time, you got to take back your happiness, man. Just like she told me, focus on yourself. She told me to focus on myself. When I was telling her about what was going on in Gaza and all that, she's like, nah, don't focus on you. Don't worry about them. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take your advice, but only I am worried about them. That is focus on me. And when I focus on you, it pulls me away from focusing on them because I'm focused on you just like you focused on you. That takes me off focus. It's a distraction. It's not just what comes with the positivity of the motivation that she used to provide me with when she felt like it. But it's a distraction when she disappears, pulls me away from the focus that her consistency would otherwise provide if she were given the same thing that she gave every single day, all the time. Well, the days that she chooses to do it, rather, every single day. You know what I mean? And it's like, look, you don't have to be there every single day, but to disappear when a little static come around, it's like, no, I'm too hurt. No, you're not too hurt. You're too selfish, man. And you don't appreciate me because I haven't made you do so, or because you're incapable of doing so, for which I can't do nothing about. That's between you and yourself and how that goes. Because for me, I like consistency in my friendships and relationships, even though I don't always display that to other people, which is why I may very well deserve this. But when it comes to the people that I'm most focused on, yeah, I want to hear from you every day or every other day or some consistent rhythm of that. Rather than we talk for 5 days straight and then you walk back and you come back, hit me for a couple, 3 days and then come back. It's like all that does is it leaves me in a space where I see that is inconsistency. I see that as you jumping around to probably somebody else who do the same thing too. And if that's how you operate, then that's not what I'm here for. So, look at myself. I love who I am, man. I didn't always love who I am, but through the consistency of taking care of my body, the consistency of praying to God, consistency of staying away from certain things, consistency of pouring into somebody that I cared about and seeing, myself being a very consistent person in that way, it helped me understand I'm good for somebody. I'm good for somebody. I may not have everything I need to be good for somebody, but I'm certainly what I have and what I pour into her should be going to somebody else. Likely, should be going to somebody. And I'm wasting my time as somebody who's almost 40 years old. I'm wasting my time while this person doesn't appreciate a good man in their life. Not fully, not enough to be a good woman in that person's life. You see what I'm saying? Good people require good people. You can't just have a good man and just proceed to be a whatever the hell. You're not going to keep that good person, or they ain't going to be good because of you, because of what you did that otherwise took that goodness and removed that for which they wanted to give from even being there anymore. You depleted that of them. And that's how I feel like that's where this is headed. She's going to deplete me. Now, every time she does this, I gain more and more resentment, more and more energy of manic energy that I can't use. I got to do spiritual gymnastics, praying and all this other stuff. Like, for what? So I can stay with this sometime individual that ain't even really present? So I can say I love somebody that don't love me back? But in the words, and maybe a couple times when she may feel like calling every once in a blue moon or something, that's like, I didn't love myself by allowing that person to be weaponized against me in this way. And I didn't love them enough to teach them a better lesson to say that I'm not going to go for that no more. I'm not going to let you use your pain and what you've been through as a means to continue to treat me like I don't matter as much. No, okay, that's not okay. At some point in time, we all got to grow up. And for me, it's growing up to trust that I got it right when I do this. When I stop that and show that person that if you ain't going to appreciate me, I am. If you ain't going to appreciate me fully, I'm for sure going to appreciate myself. And keeping what it is that you do that I don't like away from my mental health. While you doing all the things that you do that I don't, you know what I'm saying, that I don't know nothing about. So it's like at some point in time, and I'm sure a lot of y'all saw this coming, but at some point in time, a person just got to stop this. Let's stop this. I can love you from afar, I can love you from up close, but it's going to be up to you to make sure that you're close, because I'm not going to be getting much closer than this. Not when I'm the one that gets burned every time you decide to do this. Nah, friend. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. So that's what it becomes for me. It's an understanding that at some point in time, you gotta nip certain things in the bud. It's like, yo, no, that ain't gonna work. That's who I was when I didn't love myself as much, when I didn't know God as well. And maybe if you get closer to loving God more, or if you learn to love yourself more, then you would be able to appreciate a good person like myself in your life when you have one. Someone that's speaking life into you every day. Someone that's trying to forgive you for certain things. Someone who would be willing to let you be yourself. You don't appreciate that person because you're too busy taking from them what it is that otherwise they have to give, without giving what it is that you're supposed to give to ensure that they got enough from you. That's called taking advantage. That's a childish energy. It's time to grow up. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.